What's up, Internet? Coach Dennis here. It is week 2 of the Coaching Cotter series, where I coach my good friend Cotter on how to grow his arms and his legs by the end of the year. So we're trying to add inches to our arms, add inches to our legs, and get shredded, okay? Now, workout of the day is 100 pull-ups for time. So what I'm gonna do 6 pull-ups. I'm gonna try 6 pull-ups every minute for 17 minutes. I think it's 102 pull-ups. And in between, I'm gonna talk. And so I'm gonna use myself as a teaching point for Cotter because he has similar goals, and for you all who maybe have similar goals. So really the goal is the golden goal that we all want, right? It's to basically get shredded, right? We want to build muscle, lose fat at the same time. We want to perform well. And so my current goals are perfectly aligned with that goal, if that makes sense, right? Because there are goals that you can have that aren't aligned with that. If you want to be a strong man, you're not going to try and get lean and shredded. You're just going to get big as hell, right? So we'll get into that. So let's start. So first, I'm gonna I got my little clock, so I'm gonna be looking at my phone because I got a running clock on the phone. So we'll start here in about 15 seconds. So stick around, guys. I got some good information today. I'm gonna talk, so my goal, I'm gonna say goal a lot. I got a lot of goals going on, but I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna lose 20 pounds in 36 days. All right, here's the start of the minute. All right, so I wanna lose 20 pounds in 36 days. Why 36 days? Because that is when my first triathlon race is coming up, or my next sprint triathlon race. So I have USAT, USA Triathlon Sprint Nationals in Atlantic City, New Jersey on September 15th. So today is August 11th. I went and I did a time trial race yesterday at the local triathlon course at Lake Olathe, and I felt really strong, and I was happy with my performance, but I know I can do better next set. We'll see if I can hold 6s. If I need to drop it down to 4s, I will, because I'd rather have this talk with you guys today. So I currently weigh 196 pounds, which is big for a triathlete. I guess I'm a hybrid athlete, a CrossFitter. I do CrossFit. I don't really have competitive goals with CrossFit, but I like to work out in a CrossFit gym, jump in a class, do the open, that type of thing. And I have a good physique for CrossFit. I have a good physique for hybrid, whatever that means. But for triathlon, I'm still a little heavy at 196 pounds. So I want to lose some weight. And the reason is, so my coach has told me this, and you can Google it. There's studies that have been done. But basically it comes down to power to weight ratio. So they say for every pound you lose, you can shave 2 seconds off of your mile time. Meaning, so I'm gonna be running more than a mile. I'm gonna be running 5K, so 3 miles at the end of the sprint triathlon. But your mile split will reduce by 2 seconds for every pound you lose, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you lose 10 pounds, that's 20 seconds per mile. that's a minute off of your race time, which is huge. If you lose 20 pounds, it's 2 minutes off your race time. I mean, that is incredible for people to understand, especially in a short race like a sprint. It's only an hour to an hour 15 minutes. If you're competitive, those 2 minutes you shave off your time could be the difference between 10th place and 5th place, that type of thing. So it's a big deal. In theory, it will also make you faster on the swim and the bike. Now, the bike, it depends on the course. Atlantic City is going to be a flat course, so that part doesn't matter so much. But a week later, I'm going to be doing the Lake Olathe triathlon, which has a ton of steep inclines. And when we're talking about climbing, being lighter is way better. Just reading online, they say it's almost like a linear gain. If it's a 10% incline, you're going to be climbing about 10% faster for every whatever pound you lose. I don't know if it's a pound, but for every 20 pounds you lose, something like that. Because that's just, going uphill, you're working against gravity, right? So you can have power, but if I can put out 300 watts at 196 pounds, and the guy next to me puts out 300 watts at 160 pounds, I mean, he is flying past me. Now, downhill, the weight is good, I go a little faster. And flat, once you overcome that inertia, it kind of balances out. But for a course that feels like you're just always climbing, you definitely want to be lighter. So that's a big incentive I have. Because as much as nationals is cool, I actually like the Lake Olathe triathlon. It's my favorite and it's my benchmark. It's the one that, it's the same race course every year. And I do it every year to see if my training from the previous year has actually improved me, right? So that's my standard to know if I'm doing better, okay? So I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. Now, I've done this before. When I was getting ready for basic training, I lost 20 pounds in about a month. My recruiter basically told me I had to. And so what did I do? I did I ate healthy. I actually was living at home at the time. I was young, so I just told my mom, basically, feed me. So I never fed myself. I just basically let my mom feed me and she controlled my calorie intake, but I was doing 2-a-days and a lot of sauna, and I got that weight off. So that's not the exact strategy I have this time around. So let's talk about it. So how am I going to get fast and shredded in the next month, the next 36 days? So first thing you got to understand is your basal metabolic rate. That is, how many calories do you require just to exist, okay? Sitting on the couch, and, have a day where you just stay home, do nothing. You don't want to gain weight, you don't want to lose weight. This is how much energy your body uses. Mine's roughly at 2,000 calories. For a lot of people, it's going to be roughly 10 times your body weight. So depending on how much muscle you have, 196 pounds with some decent muscle, my BMR is about 2,000 calories. So a pound of fat is equal to about 3,500 calories. So if I'm going to lose 20 pounds in 36 days, I got to lose about a pound a day. So that means literally I gotta or I need to be in a deficit, calorie deficit of about 1,750 calories, whatever that is. So I'm going to shoot for about a 1,500 calorie deficit per day. It's undershooting a little bit, but it'll be fine. There's water, weight, and all that plays a role too. So, and just for round numbers, for the sake of this talk. So if my basal metabolic rate is 2,000 calories, if I eat 2,000 calories, in order to be in that 1,500 calorie deficit, I need to expend in total 3,500 calories, right? So that's an additional 1,500 calories above what I'm eating and above my basal metabolic rate. So it's total daily energy expenditure, 3,500. But I'm only fueling to support my frame at 2,000 calories or my basal metabolic rate. So I'm creating an energy deficit, okay? So how am I actually gonna do that? It's not as bad as it sounds. I think I missed a set. Let's go for it. I might be missing some sets here, but that's okay. We'll get it done. So the strategy that's worked best for me in the past when it comes to food is to really shrink the food item list, okay? So I'm basically just gonna be eating meat and fruit. It works for me, and I think it makes a lot of sense on paper. Number one, you're prioritizing protein. Number two, it's very satiating. Number three, if you pick the right proteins, you can still get a lot of micronutrients from it. And number four, it's just worked for me in the past. So let's hit a set. So I'm gonna splice in a picture of what I'm gonna eat in a day. I started yesterday and I felt great with it. It's gonna be about 15 ounces of strip steak, 15 ounces of pulled barbecue chicken, peanut butter sandwich, that'll be breakfast. Those are the three main meals. And if I'm feeling snacky, like, cravings, because that's gonna happen, watermelon, grapes, berries, and 1% low-fat cottage cheese. So why that? Number one, the grocery store that's local to me, they sell them in the hot bar, pre-cooked. They're little packages of 15 ounces of strip steak, packages of pulled barbecue chicken. They also have a Korean chicken one. So I like, it's gonna be more expensive, but it's only a month. And I don't wanna leave anything up to chance where, oops, I don't have the ingredients to cook, or I don't feel like cooking, I don't have time for cooking. So I'm just gonna go to the grocery store every couple days, stock up on those, and have them always available. The peanut butter sandwich, it's basically like a pre-workout. So it's Dave's Killer Bread. It's very low calorie bread, and just a tablespoon of peanut butter, a little drizzle of honey, and yeah. So, and I'll share the calories on all those. But in total, those three meals are only like 1,200 calories. And then, so if I'm allowing myself to snack on grapes, berries, cottage cheese, whatever, I'm definitely gonna be below 2,000 calories, easily. you would be surprised at how I mean, that's like 2 pounds of meat a day. You're gonna be very full. Now you still might have some cravings, but like these watery fruits, it's mostly water, okay? Now, let's talk about the story that we tell ourselves, because I think this is what gets in the way for most people, is the narrative. The story we tell ourselves is what leads us astray off path. So number one story that's been the biggest hindrance to me this year has been I need carbs. I need carbs because I've been training endurance all year. I mean, running, biking, swimming, and then doing strength workouts, and I'm always worried I'm not gonna be fueled for tomorrow's workout, right? And so I've been obsessed with this idea that I need carbs. And I've been pretty good about managing calorie intake and balancing carbs and all that, but you add carbs in, it lessens the budget for protein, and carbs for me really get the appetite going. When you talk about cravings, so if I just eat a freaking thing of 15 ounce of strip steak, I'm good. I don't have like follow-on cravings. But if I was to have 7 ounces of strip steak and a sweet potato, that sweet potato, it lights up something in my brain where it starts that hunger pathway, and I'm like, next thing I know, I'm going in the cabinet, I'm looking for snacks, right? I want all kinds of stuff. Pita chips, I really like the Stacy's pita chips. Whatever, it doesn't matter what the thing is. Problem is, that leads me to overeat, period. So when I'm just doing a protein-only diet, it controls all that for me. And the protein A, it's gonna be plenty for recovery, okay? It's gonna allow you to build those muscles. Yeah, buddy. The excess, if you're getting protein in excess, it will be turned into muscle glycogen, so you're still getting some carbs. And by the way, the I need carbs thing is really a performance thing. I'm not really worried about my health, I'm worried about performance. But there's not enough carbs in the world that I could eat that could make up for the weight lost. So it's like, okay, I want to perform what? I want to perform good in training, or do I want to perform good on race day? Like, I've trained all year, okay? I've had plenty of great training sessions. It's time to start thinking about race day. There's no amount of perfect training sessions, intervals that I run. There's no amount of carb fueling that could yield better results than just being 20 pounds lighter, period. So I have to just start thinking about the outcome. And I almost said outcome, not the process. That's not true, because it's just changing what the process is, right? So, and that's why this is not like a year-round plan, by the way. It's kind of like a peaking plan, right? So you always want to be process-oriented. It's fine that I was eating carbs all year because I was training, and you want to have good training sessions. You want to have good recovery, but when you put in all that work, you want to see the best results on race day, don't let anything stand in your way. If 20 pounds is the difference between podium and just saying, I improved a little bit this year, like, what are you doing, right? And there's a clear-cut path. So basically go carnivore. Go carnivore to hit your physique goals, okay? If you stuck around this long, learn that much. All right, and then The other fears of being in a calorie deficit is like, I'm gonna lose my muscle. You're not gonna lose your muscle, okay? Bodybuilders go into severe deficits, they don't lose their muscle. They look freaking jacked on stage, okay? Plus you're getting enough protein, okay? Are you gonna gain maximum amount of muscle? No, but it's only 30 days. We're just doing this for 30 days. And I'm still training. We're potentiating muscle for later. You get stronger. You can still get stronger, by the way, in a calorie deficit, okay? And you're getting stronger. You're training your muscles. Later, after your cut, after your race, you can go into a calorie surplus and you'll see those muscles just freaking pop, okay? So that's all part of the narrative. In the short term, you don't need carbs, okay? In the short term, you're not a calorie deficit. It's not going to kill your muscle. It's not going to kill your gains. Keep your goals clear in mind. So for me, I want to be fast. I want to be powerful. I'm going to eat the appropriate amount to fuel my body for recovery, and that's it. And I'm going to create an energy deficit through training. So I'll be doing a strength session every day. I'll be doing a cardio session every day. And some of those cardio sessions are structured because I've got a race. So I'll be doing some intervals on the salt runner today. I'll be doing some intervals across the week with swimming, biking. And then I'll be tracking my total daily energy expenditure through my Apple Watch to see how much I actually burnt. And then whatever is left, to get to that 15 to 1700 calorie deficit, I'm either going to go for a walk or I'm going to get on the Echo bike and I'm just going to put in the time. Low intensity, you just got to burn those calories. That's it. Just create the calories. Step on the scale every morning. Okay, so it's going to be a morning weight that I'm going to be monitoring going down. And the last piece is find somebody who's going to hold you accountable. Find your good friend who isn't afraid to give you shit. So I reached out to Coach Andy here at CrossFit Camo, and I'm like, dude, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to report to you my weight every day. And if I'm not progressing, just give me shit, man. Give me hell. Keep me accountable, because I will do it if somebody else is watching. So get somebody invested. And that's it, man. There's more, but that's really it, okay? If you got questions, concerns, whatever, drop it in the comments. Thanks for the follow. I don't think I've actually done 100 yet. I totally lost track. So we'll finish it up, and peace.